In this video, I'm going to go over the very early results of a free music marketing experiment that I'm currently running. And we're going to be covering this multiple times over the next several months or longer, depending on how it goes. But first, let me show you some of these very early results, and I'll go into the setup. So these numbers aren't crazy, but keep in mind, this is entirely for free. We've not used any paid ads, we've not used any playlisting, we've not used anything that costs any money at all, just things that take time. And specifically, all we've done, we've uploaded one album on Spotify, we've posted on Instagram and Facebook, and we've uploaded some videos on YouTube. That's it. Now, there are a whole bunch of other stats that we're going to go over associated with what we've gotten this far, because there's also how things are on YouTube and how things are on social media, and then also how are things on other DSPs, because the Spotify numbers are actually the only streams. We also get a bunch on other platforms as well. And I want to just kind of tell you about how this campaign is set up, because it very much is going to determine like how you interpret these results. So first of all, what music are we using? I didn't want to sacrifice my own music. I don't have the time to make a bunch of music for a side project just for a free music marketing experiment. So I'm just using AI. I'm using Suno. I'm making music that I think works and sounds good. And I'm getting that music and I'm uploading it under a new identity that I'm not going to reveal, because as soon as I reveal the identity of the project, that invites people to go listen to it, and you are going to impact the experiment. So even if you figure out who it is, please don't stream the music. Please don't share it, because it'll keep this experiment possible. If the word gets out who this is, it'll kind of ruin the whole experiment, and I basically have to just trash the whole concept going forward. So it's AI music, kind of a bummer, but I can't afford to outsource all the music that I would need for this. So that being said, using AI, what kind of music did I decide to do? Well, I felt that the vocals on AI music are the easiest giveaway. So to avoid doing that, it's instrumental music. And also to make the project as bingeable as possible, because instrumental music is typically something that people binge. They don't just listen to one song, they might listen to hours. I'm doing dark orchestral music, I would call it. So it's music you might listen to when you're reading, maybe sleeping, but probably more like focusing, studying, working, that kind of thing. So instrumental, AI, orchestral, dark music is the scope of this new brand that we're creating and using in this music marketing experiment. Now, if I had infinite money or resources, what I probably would do is find an artist out there and partner with them and maybe pay them on a per song basis, or do some kind of other arrangement to run these experiments. But that seemed like too much of a logistical and financial nightmare to orchestrate and plan having a real human do the music. So that's why it's AI generated. All right, so now let's dive deeper into the stats. So as I mentioned, we're not doing any paid marketing, it's just free. So the first kind of marketing, I guess you could call it, that we did is we just uploaded an album on Spotify. And that was uploaded on December 23rd, so that's right here. You can kind of see the evolution of the streams as things went along. There's not a lot of listeners. There's only 44 unique people have found this record. But the thing is, each of them have listened to 7 songs per person, or they've generated 7 streams per person. Again, this is why I picked a bingeable format, like a bingeable style of music that you could be listening to in these scenarios, and it's instrumental, typically vocal-driven music like pop, hip-hop, EDM, etc. You don't get numbers like this. You might get a 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of a thing, depending on the size of your catalog. We have one album out with 25 songs on it, and we already have 7 streams per listener. Saves are pretty good. However, keep in mind that it's a 25-song album. If someone saves the entire album, they generate 25 saves. So that's why you see these spikes. If I zoom in a tad to make this easier, that's why these are all 25, right? So this is like one person saved the whole album, one person saved the whole album, one person saved the whole album. It's only when you get to some of these other ones where you see people saving individual songs, or we get multiple people saving entire albums in a day. Like this day, 2 people saved the entire album, plus 1 person saved a single, most likely. This day, it was 3 people saved the whole album, and 1 person saved a single, and then whole album. So small numbers of people. But because of the way this genre of music works, and it's all on this one album, we're able to get a very high stream per listener and also a very high amount of saves. We actually have more saves than, well, not just listeners, but than streams, just because people are saving the entire record. Now let's flip into some demographic and location information. So it's mostly male, and this is the age distribution here. Let me zoom out so you can see the whole thing. Kind of random, but we're not running ads or anything, right? So this is just 100% organic results. Location, again, we're not manipulating this in any way. I mean, I've listened to some of the songs on here, so I am one listener that has generated probably 10 streams or something, but that's it. The rest of this is just random people finding it. And so we have this distribution of countries and this distribution of cities. It's very much like a tier 1 with some tier 2 countries in there, right? So tier 1, if you've ever seen my videos, it's kind of like US, UK, Australia, Canada, Germany, and then tier 2 would be like Brazil and Mexico and Philippines. I usually have in like a tier 3 or tier 4 kind of scenario. So that's the organic results on Spotify. Now, you might be wondering, where are these streams being generated? And I'm also curious about that too. If we go to source of streams, and actually let me look at streams, source of streams, we'll look at active. We will look at other listeners' playlists, and we will look at algorithmic and radio and I guess other. This is stream, so it's basically all active. So there's not any playlisting. There's 4 streams from other listeners' playlists. There's 5 streams from radio, 0 from algorithmic. So again, this has only been 3 weeks, so I wouldn't typically expect much radio this early in a new project. It's mostly active. So if we scroll up, and in the active section, let's make it a little more granular. I'm going to turn off everything except these 3 active sources, so we can see where are these people coming from. 275 from artist profile and catalog. A little bit of listeners queue, a little bit of listeners on playlist and library. So it's mostly people, I'm guessing they're seeing our posts in social media, and then they're jumping to Spotify and other streaming platforms to find the song. And that's what this would be, artist profile and catalog. It's basically people streaming directly from the album or directly from the profile page. So that's awesome. That's actually exactly what I would hope for. Now let's go over some of the social media and YouTube numbers. And to avoid having a bunch of time editing stuff and hiding stuff from the screen, essentially what I'm doing is I'm going to show this newsletter that, by the way, if you were already on my email list, you already got this newsletter. If you're not, then click the link below and sign up to my weekly newsletter. I send an email basically every Monday. Sometimes I also miss some Mondays, but at most it's typically 1 email per Monday. And yeah, go to musicmarketingmonday.com or click the link down below. Now, some of these screenshots are a little out of date because I took them, I try to write these things a little bit early, but so the numbers here are a little different. The numbers now are better, essentially. This is Spotify. When I took this, it was 202 streams. You've seen here, it's 317. So I took this filming this a few days after I took these screenshots. But I want to show you a few very key metrics here. One, this is from the distributor, and this would be the artist. So this is the current artist we're looking at. And these are the streams we've gotten. So total, it's actually been 813 streams, with 628 coming from YouTube Music specifically. This is saying 170 Spotify. Again, keep in mind, this is the distributor report, not Spotify artist, so it's a little behind. And keep in mind, I took these pictures like maybe a week early. A little bit on Apple, a little bit on Amazon. But one thing that's very surprising is this. 40 TikTok creations using the music and 57,000 views on TikTok. We don't have a TikTok for this. We've posted on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So 40 people, or one person 40 times, or something in the middle, have used songs from this album in 40 different videos that have gotten 57,000 views. Completely organically, we don't know. We can find these videos if we looked on TikTok, but I thought this was shocking, like that people are just using them. One trick I will mention, I don't want to give this away entirely, but I named the songs after things that people might be searching for in certain niches that were related to the music. And I don't want to get too detailed because it'll make it too easy to figure out. But essentially, like, I thought of the music, what kind of vibe it fit, what kind of entertainment mediums fit it, and then I named the songs things from those entertainment mediums. So we're talking like TV shows, video games, movies, books. Elements, characters, places is what I named the songs because, one, it fit the album. 2, they're AI generated anyways. And 3, I thought people might be searching for them. So that could be contributing not just to the TikTok, but also to the Spotify and also to social media. I thought it might be a fun tactic to see what could happen. But I believe most of the people are actually coming from socials. And for one reason is we started posting on YouTube basically right when the album came out. I think actually a little bit before we started posting. So like maybe the album came out on the 23rd of December, 2024. But the post started going live about the 20th of December, maybe the 19th or something. I think this is what this is here. And you can see all the posts, right? So there's a full video, short, 2 things, a short, a video, a full video, short. You know, I haven't been super consistent. I think maybe I've put 8 hours of total work into this project by the time I took these pictures. And that's including making the music on Suno, uploading it to the distributor, making all these video clips. I'm doing the entire thing myself, just kind of like whenever I have spare moments of time, which is not much. But you can see that these efforts, like we didn't post a ton of stuff. Like in making the videos itself, I maybe put 2 hours of work into all these videos because they're very simple. They're just artwork, some music, some videos that I hired someone on Fiverr to make, which again, that's technically a paid thing. I could have made them myself, but in this case, I just hired someone to make the videos. So not a paid marketing thing, but I did hire some people to help me make some shorts using the videos that I could have done myself. But anyways, that's besides the point. But because of that, we got 2,400 views, again, completely organically, 32 hours of organic watch time and 8 subscribers, just again, in like 3 weeks, which is pretty amazing, in my opinion, that you can grow like this for free. Now, let's scroll down a bit and look at some pictures that I took for Meta. Now, these ones are a little bit misleading because this is from Meta Business Suite. And this is saying we reached 363 people, we got 5 interaction and 4 followers on Instagram. On Instagram, I can see that we have 1,700 views. So I don't know how our reach is 363 when on our Reels, I see we have 1,700 views. Yeah, that's the stat. So like on Instagram, every video we post is getting, for the most part, a couple hundred views, but we have had basically a lot get 500 and a few get over 1,000 or even a couple thousand. But then there's a random other videos will get like 10 views. So it's very inconsistent. And the other thing I've noticed on YouTube is that the views don't happen immediately. It's like in every case I upload a video, it gets 0 views for a couple days. And then it kind of rides this little wave and then dies off, which, I haven't started a new YouTube channel in a long time. Maybe that's just how it is. But it's interesting to see the YouTube algorithm working. And you can see that here, right? Like post video here, it's like a little bit of a wave and then, kind of like boom, like one day algorithmic push and then like same kind of deal here. And so the algorithm on YouTube is very interesting to watch. Sometimes videos don't do anything for a couple days and then the algorithm's like, oh cool, we found a spot, and they push it out and then eventually it just fizzles away. But very, very interesting to see. Now, I want to bring something up because a lot of artists have told me over the last few years they feel like growing or getting any traction from social media or YouTube organically is just flat out impossible. And this already, in this like 3-week results, super early impressions on how this experiment's going, have kind of shown that all those people are wrong. You can't get traction on social media. Granted, this is this instrumental music and it's in a specific niche. I'm doing this keyword thing. And I am posting a good amount on social media, but these videos are quite lazy. Like I can't show them to you because it's going to ruin the experiment. But remember, this is AI music, so it's not that great. A human could I could easily make music that's better than this. It was just I just don't have the time to do it. And someone else that does have the time and that's more talented than me could crush the quality of music that compared to this project. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the content could be miles better. Like I'm just getting AI generated artwork and just kind of animating on screen. And then like occasionally what I've done is I've gotten some like video game clips and put the music on it. That's what I actually hired from Fiverr, just to buy some like clips of someone playing certain video games so that I would have the rights to use it in social media, essentially. And that is pretty lazy, right? You could imagine if you're passionate about your music project, your music's going to be way better than this experiment. Your video is going to be way better than this experiment. Your artwork's going to be way better than this experiment. So it's amazing to me that with like 8 hours of time, including making the music, that I could get this project from 0 to several hundred streams. I forget what the total number is, but 813 as of the last screenshot, and tens of thousands of TikTok views from other people, 32 hours of watch time with 2,400 views on YouTube, and hundreds or actually thousands of views on Instagram and Facebook, 100% for free. So if you're feeling like this stuff's impossible to do without a budget, yes, it's harder. Yes, it will take longer. But to me, this shows that anyone can grow on social media and promote their music for free and get the ball rolling and gain some modicum of success. And I already knew this was true. I've worked with thousands of artists that have shown me that they've gone from 0 to 100,000, 0 to a million, either followers or monthly listeners, completely organically. So I've seen that, but a lot of other people haven't seen that journey. So this is the premise of this experiment. These are the first results. And I hope that over the next several months throughout 2025, I'll be able to show you more interesting stats. And hopefully we'll be able to grow this project to maybe 1,000 monthly listeners, maybe more, maybe a good amount of YouTube subscribers, maybe get monetized on YouTube without spending a dime on marketing. And then maybe along the way, once we hit some goals, we'll introduce some other paid marketing tactics, some lower budget ones that we can experiment on and see how they perform along the way. But anyways, if there's anything specific that you would like to see me try as part of this experiment, please let me know in the comments below, because I'm very interested to see what you want to see in future videos on this exact experiment. But anyways, if you found this helpful, consider subscribing so you don't miss those future ones. Ring that bell, smash the like button, and check out this video right here. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Bye.